It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. We are here on another edition of a wonderful show on a marvelous Monday. We up dead early this morning. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Davriel Gardner.
And welcome to where we is now. I said dead early because time went forward over the weekend. I don't know if many of you have realized that because your body might be saying that it is still 5:30 a.m., but your clock is saying 6:30 a.m. I never get it right. I was all out of whack on Saturday. I had to sleep half of the day Sunday to catch myself. I don't know if I really like this time change.
Oh no, at this point, technically my brain had to get up at like 3:30. So I'm like, it's not dead early, it's dead late from the night before.
From the night before, right?
As far as I'm concerned. So the jury is out on daylight savings for me. I guess I'll like it in the evenings. I like it when we have a little bit more sun getting closer to the end of the day, but.
Yeah, because I've been noticing coming to the studio the past couple of weeks that the sun was coming up before the show started. I'm like, what's happening? I'm like, we're late. But no, it's just how the seasons change. And actually, the first country known to change their time during spring or for the summer period was in Canada. And that was in 1908, I think it was. And then Germany was the first country to officially say daylight saving times is the thing. I think it was in 1916 during the second year of World War II. And once again, there's many different speculations as to why it was changed, but for the Germans, it was to save money on fuel for lighting during the war. And so we could talk about it. Send us a message on the Facebook chat. Let us know. Why did the time change? And do you really like when time changes?
I will say, I remember being younger in my career, and I went to Jamaica for a conference. And I'm like, why is the time different here? And they were like, we don't do daylight savings. So I realized that you could just decide, we'll put in a little petition to the government.
So how was your weekend?
I had a fantastic weekend. It was very restful, and then Saturday night, I actually went out to Oya, or Ia, depending on how you want to pronounce it. It's a new restaurant at Goldwyn. Yes, it just opened on Thursday, so I felt very trendy, very chic. My husband said he wanted to go on a date. Of course, I had to figure out where we were going, but that was totally fine. And it was fantastic. It was an excellent experience. It was nice to see. That was the first time I went into Goldwyn, so it was really nice.
That's good. That's good. Date night is always a good thing. I like that mode where I could call for date night, but my wife need to make the plans.
Right. We will do something fun. You can figure it out.
Yeah, I had a great weekend. I popped into Black Point Exuma on Friday, and I have to say, I was in Black Point. I was at Lorraine's Cafe, and they bake the best bread in the world. If you're in Black Point, go check Lorraine and her mom. That bread, the coconut bread, the raisin bread, the plain bread, all types of freshly baked bread you can get right there from the house in Black Point Exuma. I mean, she needs to start baking and exporting to the world because people come from all over the world on these tour boats, stop at that dock just to get some of that baked bread. So we see you, and I had a piece of coconut bread this morning.
But Mark, you have come here without any of the bread.
Oh, I mean, I have it in my soul.
But you forgot about your family here.
On to the next thing. Let's say happy belated birthday goes out to former host of the show, Phil Simon, and his wife. They both celebrated their birthdays on March 9th and March 11th. Happy belated birthdays, and enjoy many more laps around the sun. Phil, we miss you. You need to come on the show and, make sure come dressed fresh like you normally do. You keep me inspired, man. You raise the bar, but enjoy another lap around the sun, you and your wife. We miss you, man. Come and say hi to us.
Absolutely. And the E. Clement Bethel National Arts Festival, New Providence adjudications begin today, Monday, March 13th, and will be held at the All Saints Hall, Christ Community Church, and the Amanji School of Arts. The events are free to the public, and for more information, email nationalartsfestival@gmail.com or contact Novi Pierre on Facebook. I have to remember to shout out as well my new wardrobe sponsor, the PG Flamingo, who has me, together on this Monday morning. Listen, if I had to pick out my clothes this morning, I don't know if it would have worked out. Daylight savings might have gotten the better of me, and I'm so excited to be sporting these just really chic looks from PG Flamingo in Harbor Bay.
There you go, Harbor Bay. Go check it out. My wardrobe is sponsored by my closet. That's why I look like that. Anybody wants to dress me up? Hit me up. And we got a great show for you today. We're going to be learning about the relaunch of IBS's Integrated Building Services Build a Bridge Challenge.
And the Bahamas International Film Festival, and IRCA will be joining us to discuss the Youth Film Workshop. And RBC FINCO will tell us about their exciting mortgage campaign. We want to invite you to the Grand Bahama Business Outlook this Thursday, March 16th at the Grand Lucayan in Grand Bahama. A diverse slate of speakers from various industries will address the theme Forward, Upward, Onward Together in celebration of our nation's 50th year of independence. Register now at tclevents.com to attend. The in-person rate is $165, or you can join virtually for $100. We have a great show for you, but first, we'll have a check on weather with Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
Thank you, Gabrielle, and good morning, Bahamas. And your first look at weather at sunrise. We have a weak frontal boundary across the southeastern islands. That'll dissipate today, but high pressure builds across the islands. But that too will quickly move to east and make way for a strong cold front to move in here sometime late on Tuesday into Wednesday morning. But today, partly sunny and warm, slight chance of a passing shower, high temperature 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, we'll have partly cloudy and mild conditions. Again, a slight chance of 1 or 2 showers, particularly with the Grand Bahama Abaco area. The low temperature going down to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados, 85 and 77. In Jamaica, 86 and 73. In Trinidad, 93 and 73. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 85 and 68. Across North America, Atlantis, 56 and 39. In Boston, 45 and 34. In Miami, 84 and 69. Dallas, Texas, 61 and 48. And Toronto, Canada, 37 and 29. As you go the week, we have that high pressure moving eastward, making a cold front moving on Tuesday evening, and that'll bring about some showers and thunderstorms, particularly on Wednesday after front passes. And then you have that cool down coming Wednesday, Thursday into Friday. So temperature daytime after front pass will be in the upper 70s, lower 80s at daytime, at nighttime in the lower 60s. That puts you up in your first look at the weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Go! Thank you, Godfrey. The 13th annual Build a Bridge Challenge takes place this Thursday, March 16th. And here to tell us all about it are Nick Dean, Principal and Civil and Structural Engineer. We have Jamaal Bain, he's IBS Civil Engineering Technician and former Build a Bridge participant. And Lacory, Noel, or Noel? Noel, there you go. I know how to read. IBS Civil Engineering Technician and former Build a Bridge winner and summer internship recipient. Good morning and welcome all the Bahamas at Sunrise.
Morning, Mark. Good to be here, man.
You know, when you're in a room of engineers, you just realize like how not smart I am. You know, these are the guys, they know math and they got physics and they could just calculate anything and design anything. But good morning. Happy to have you all here. Nick, what is the Build a Bridge competition all about?
Build a Bridge Challenge is a popsicle stick bridge building competition. Basically, it's getting high school kids and tricking them into thinking science is cool, right? So we want to try to draw people into the STEM program by having them compete against each other by building these bridges out of popsicle sticks. So each school has a team of 5 students and 1 mentor teacher, and they build these bridges out of 100 regular wooden popsicle sticks.
Just 100.
And regular plain old white Elmer's glue.
Wow.
And everyone has the same kit, the same equipment. We give them tips. We point them towards websites where they can learn about the physics of bridge building and the science behind it and what makes a bridge carry the load. And the competition is based on efficiency. So it's not just how much weight your bridge carries, it's how light your bridge is that carries so much weight. So there's an efficiency ratio. So the lightest bridge that carries the heaviest weight wins the competition.
Wow, that sounds, I can't even process that. I must be an engineer to figure out how to do that, right? What is the purpose of the competition?
Well, it's a team building exercise for high school students. It's to show effort and reward. But like I said, it's also to kind of nudge people towards the STEAM type subjects, because we want more people geared towards engineering, applied sciences, physics, etc. And one of the things that I'd like to tout is that we've had about 1,000+ students pass through the program so far. This is our 13th one, and we've gotten probably about as many female participants as we've had males. And we always want to push females in STEM programs as much as possible, because they traditionally don't naturally head towards those programs.
Yes, and we work in the same industry. There's lots of wonderful women out there, really intelligent. Once again, make all us look dumb.
Sure.
And speaking of that, Lacory, here we are. You're here as a woman in STEM. So we heard a little bit about the competitions, but can you tell us what's the load competition and the aesthetic competition all about?
Well, the load competition is where the lightest bridge carries the most load before breaking, and the aesthetics just highlights the architecture of the component of the bridges.
So you were a former participant in this competition?
Yes.
So when you participated, what was, I guess, the challenge or the design you put forward? Did you operate individually or as a team? And what was that experience like?
Well, it was a team building experience, as Nick said, and I was the captain of the team. It was a 5-person team. And we had to work to overcome the challenge. Well, he was like, if we want our bridge to look pretty, and it probably won't carry much load. So he's like, well, we wanted to be in that equal balance of coming off as aesthetic and also carrying the most load.
That's awesome. I guess, Jamaal, you also were a part of this competition back in the day, right? I ain't going around the first competition. But explain to us your experience in the competition and how that led to you in your current career as an engineer.
Well, I was a part of the first pre-engineering class from Anatole Rogers High School.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, we kind of far back.
Right.
Our teacher at the time, Oliver Lynch, I think Lacory was a part of the program as well. He presented the challenge to us, and we were pretty interested. So it was 5 of us. We put together a few designs, broke a couple of bridges. We didn't place that year, but since then, Anatole Rogers has placed consistently, whether it be first, second, third. I think Lacory was part of an all-female team that actually won the competition for us. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So are you all involved in the judging of the competition? So tell us how they judged.
Okay, so usually we weigh the bridge, make sure that we record those measurements, take the length of the bridge, because our apparatus, there's a maximum length and a minimum length. If it's too small, then it won't fit. If it's too large, then it may fit, but it won't be fair to the other teams because you have a little extra help with you. We make sure that everything fits properly. We also inspect the bridges closely, because we have had situations in the past where some schools may have tried to pull a fast one on us, done some things that they shouldn't have done. But we try to keep the competition fair, so those teams would have been disqualified, or they would have had to come up with a replacement bridge. But it's mainly just making sure that they use the popsicle sticks that we provide. They're able to actually be tested properly, that our apparatus fit, that they fit on our testing tables, that everything is according to specifications.
There you go. And so nobody can cheat. These are engineers who really can't cheat engineers. They can see you cheat before you even started, right? They've calculated already. Nick, I guess tell us, how did you first, come up with the idea for the competition, and what's it like planning this for like a national scale, the way it's at now?
Well, when we first started, it was about 2007, and I'm older than you. But at that time, there was a lot of negative press, a lot of high school violence and stuff. And so I wanted to put a counter spin on it, because, it's a very small percentage of students that are doing that kind of activity. And there were a lot of students that are really doing positive things, but they don't get the press. So that, combined with the fact that I think UB was going through a transitional stage, and their engineering program was diminishing. So we wanted to try to revive the push towards STEM. So the competition for our office is a very involved process. It takes about 6 months of planning. Between getting the competition toolkits together and sending them out to schools and finding out who wants to participate, who doesn't want to participate, and getting the rules to them, et cetera, et cetera. So we've gotten about 25 to 26 schools. Nationally, we get schools from the Family Islands, schools from all over New Providence. Is open to public and private schools, and we even have a school from the U.S. this year. A school from California is going to participate in the competition.
That's
so,
good.
yeah, it's fantastic, and they've over the last 12 competition, this is our 13th. There've only been 3 winners. So these 3 schools keep trading the first position. So it's Anatole Rogers has won it about 3 or 4 times. Sac has won it about I think 3 times, and St. John's has won it a couple times.
Oh, there you go.
So we'd like to see a new winner.
I hope that people are as fierce about that competition as they are BAISS, and they're cheering on their schools, because it's just as important. Athletics, academics, they're in the same bag. And so I like what you say, you want to celebrate the good things that students are doing, those who focus on their education, those who are trying something new, working as a team, working as a group.
Absolutely.
If there are any students or schools out there who want to sign up for this competition, how do they find out more information and sign up?
Well, typically your head coach that's a part of the team is aware of the competition by IBS, so lets them know. And then the interested students get to sign up, and the teacher selects the students he think would be best to represent the school.
Now, there is a prize, right? Tell me what are the prizes that are for the winners, I guess the runners-up?
Well, they've gotten some fantastic prizes over the years. So the prizes kind of switch up. They've gotten everything from tablets to earbuds to cell phones. Our people pay attention to the prizes that these young people want to have. And we have fantastic sponsors who I'd like to big up at the end of the segment. But what I also wanted to mention is that one of the prizes that I value the most is that the winning school gets to choose one of their members to be an intern at IBS for the summer. And as a matter of fact, that's how these guys got on. And there's another IBS staff member who also came to us via the bridge building competition. They basically came for the summer, and this one just never left.
There you go. That's good. And that's one of the great things about internships. This competition, it looks like it's a feeder into your internship program, and then in feeder into someone's career. And
absolutely, I was going to mention that of those 1,000 students that passed through, I think on the 10th year, we actually went back and tried to figure out what they were doing, and we were able to make contact with a lot of them, and quite a few of them actually went on to pursue engineering or applied sciences in college, and some of them are actually working as engineers now, because it's been a while. Awesome.
Well, before we wrap up, I want you to let our viewers know when and where will the competition take place if they wanted to come and view it in live time. Tell us, how can they watch this?
Competition takes place on Thursday, March 16th at the Trinity Activity Center in Stapleton. It's from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. And I think we might be streaming it live. But in any event, we will be recording it, and we will post it on our Facebook page and on our website.
Perfect. And tell us about your sponsors that helped to make this event possible.
Right. I'm going to have to read them, because
Go for it.
We have a fantastic list of sponsors, and we have some very loyal sponsors. So we have Flameless Electrical, ESSO, Innovative Building Systems, Island Site Development, ISD, Sharon Wilson & Co., Target Survey and Engineering, Chandler Gilbert Insurance, NAD, Sagoma Construction, Bahamas Hot Mix, Boss, Planet Bahamas, Coca-Cola, Custom Computers, Security Depot, Dino Stores.
That's a great list of sponsors. I got to write them down for my event, right? But that's great. Great group of sponsors there, supporting the academics, supporting engineering, supporting STEM learning, supporting women in the industry, supporting Anatole Rogers, who seems to be there every year winning it.
They've been killing it.
I know, right? People also don't realize the importance of bridges in our country. I know we know about Paradise Island Bridge. You might know about Sandy Port, but with all the creeks and other water bodies that separate our islands, we can utilize bridges more in our country, and hopefully one of these designs that is in your competition maybe makes it to be built in real life one of these days, between
Nassau to Andres.
Yeah, there you go, Nassau to Andres. We can speak that into existence. We'd like to thank you all for coming on the show again this morning, talking about the Build a Bridge competition. IBS is in the house, continuing to channel the students from the competition to internships to careers in engineering. So thank you again for all that you do, and looking forward to a successful conclusion of your competition coming up this week.
Excellent. Thank you, man.
Thanks for being up with us day early. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
So the push-to-talk device is a beautiful device. It operates on our world-class cellular network. You can take pictures, you can take videos, you can put your persons in different groups. If they want the engineering team to have a different communication than the finance team or the security team, you can do that with the push-to-talk device. And that's not something that you can actually do with a regular communications radio device. We have several different types of devices. There's the 380, the 580 plus, and then there's the 590 plus, which is the top of the line device.
I used to think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem, just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, local international banks that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
Grand Bahama Business Outlook is back in person and better than ever. Join us on Thursday, March 16th at the Grand Lucayan Resort for a full day of engaging presenters convening under the theme Forward, Upward, Onward, Together. Keynote address by Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper. Moderators are Felicia Woods-Hanna and Dr. Kenneth Romer. Our presenters are the Honorable Ginger Moxie, Charnette Thompson, Deverson Warner, Mark Weller, Jeffrey Beckles, Dr. Linda Davis, Sonia Brown, and Keith Roy. There will also be panel discussions, one featuring Barry Malcolm, Ian Roll, James Carey, and Thomas Dean, and the other featuring Dennis DeVoe, Glenette Fowler, and Henry Smythe. Don't miss this valuable networking opportunity. Register today at tclevents.com or call 322-1000.
Welcome back. Choosing a financial institution to look after your money is one of the most important financial decisions that you can make. And RBC FINCO is here to talk to us about why they are the bank to choose. Joining us from RBC FINCO are Fredericka Nixon, Manager of Customer Services and Operations, Deverson Warner, Managing Director for RBC FINCO and AVP of Personal Banking, and Dwayne Kemp, Senior Sales Manager. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. So, Mr. Warner,
Yes.
what is RBC FINCO's history with the Bahamas?
It's a very good question. So RBC has a deep roots in the Bahamas. RBC FINCO, we have been around for almost 70 years. And one of the things that we're very proud of is that we have been a leading financial institution in providing home ownership solutions for our clients. It's something that we're very proud of. It's something that we position ourselves that we are the leading provider. And also, along with that is how do we provide advice to our clients? And we've been doing that for almost 70 years. Actually, July will be our 70th anniversary.
Okay, so we're talking about the history. There's been a lot of talk here and there about the future of RBC. Does RBC FINCO plan to remain in the Bahamas for the foreseeable future?
So short answer, yes.
Okay.
We are very invested in the Bahamas. One of the things that we are very proud of is when we think about how do we help Bahamians, we're thinking about growth. We're thinking about financial security. And through that would be long-term home ownership solutions. And so, yes, we are very invested and we're here to stay. We're here to grow.
Okay, I'm going to switch to you, Mr. Kemp. We talked during the break a little bit about some exciting things that RBC has in the works. Please tell us, what are some things that you've been working on?
Well, thank you for asking that. We have recently launched our online banking platform, which is something that a lot of customers were asking about. So we've launched it about a year and a half ago, which will allow customers the ability to review their accounts online at their convenience, anytime that's convenient for them. We've also simplified our mortgage process because at the end of the day, we realize as a customer at the end of the transaction, so we want to get to the answer yes. We want to get, how do we get to a faster yes? So we definitely want to communicate with our clients and simplify the process because we know home ownership is a big investment and is one of the biggest investments any of us are going to make. So we definitely want to go on that journey with our clients.
I love that. Mrs. Nixon, you know, we always talk about in any business, the customer experience is most important. And RBC has been working on things to transform the customer experience. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, certainly. As Mr. Warner would have advised, FINCO has been around for about 70 years. So we take pride in servicing every client that walks through the doors. As you note, the journey to home ownership is a big financial goal to many clients. So our service professionals are on the ground, partnering, building relationships, and providing problem-solving skills. So at RBC FINCO, we are here to ensure that every client interaction is seamless and worthwhile.
And have you already been getting feedback from clients about the changes, or have you used customer feedback to inform those changes?
Definitely. I've been with the bank for 15 years, and to date, clients are not impressed with only our product, but the type of service that we provide. We provide that homely, friendly, family type service, and that's what differentiates us from the rest.
Mr. Kemp, why should Bahamians do business with RBC? We talked about, you know, the home purchase being one of the biggest momentous purchases in your life, so many other banking opportunities. Why is RBC FINCO the bank for them?
Well, that's a great question. You know, like Deverson and Fredericka said, you know, FINCO's been in the Bahamas for almost 70 years. We consider ourselves to be the mortgage leader for Bahamians in the Bahamas. And we've recently launched a mortgage campaign, which will run for a few weeks. So we want to encourage persons to come and take advantage of the low rates, discounted services, and come in and get sound financial advice from us. We have service professionals that can come out and meet you at a convenient location at a time that's available for you, or you could come in and visit any one of our friendly locations, whether it be Palmdale, Main Branch, Carmichael Road, or Freeport.
Okay, and then when does this promotion end?
We end at the end of July, so it goes straight until the end of July. So we want to encourage persons to come in as quickly as they can. Let's not wait till July. Come in as quickly as you can. Let's talk about it, because home ownership is a journey. That's something that you have to plan towards, and it takes some time to close. So before you jump into it or commit to something, come in and let's get sound financial advice. It's free. Let us help guide you along this journey.
Is there a name for the promotion, or do I just call and say, I want to take advantage of the promotion that you advertised on Bahamas at Sunrise?
Yes, we do have a name for the promotion. It's called Discover Mortgage Ideas Shaped Around You. And it was launched on March 6th, and it will go until the end of July. We just want person to come and let them know they saw us on Bahamas at Sunrise. They want to take advantage of the promotion that we talk about.
Awesome. Mr. Warner, we talked about the past, which is very rich. We talked about what's going on in the present. Let's talk about the future. What does the future of RBC FINCO look like in the Bahamas?
You know, as head of the business, I'm very encouraged by how we are investing for growth. And one of the things that we have done at RBC FINCO is really challenge ourselves to be better problem solvers for our clients. And so we're investing in understanding where our clients are in their life stage, what's important to them, and more importantly, how can we help them achieve some of their life goals. And so we are moving forward together with the Bahamian people in the market, because we're here to stay, we're here to grow.
I love that. That is excellent news. I'm sure the people of the Bahamas are breathing a sigh of relief and so excited to hear about the promotions that you have ongoing. Congratulations to you all on this new promotion and all of the incredible things that RBC FINCO is doing in the Bahamas. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having us and giving us this opportunity to just share our story.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
One thing, two things, blue thing, all things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
The islands of the Bahamas. Fly away.
And welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We are up dead early on another marvelous Monday. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Davriel Gardner.
And we are here at the Mid Show on this dead early Monday because spring sprung the time forward and now nobody knows what time of day it is and everybody got bags under their eyes at work. So please excuse people if they're a little out of it, a little groggy, don't really know what day it is. This time changing thing is rough on some of us.
Oh yeah, well, it was funny. I was looking around church yesterday. I'm like, where's everybody? Everybody's running late.
No, actually, I remember as a child having to wake up for church on Sunday mornings with my parents and knowing when the time changed, and then you're acting like, I know time change.
Like today?
Did they forget?
That was today.
That was today. Oh, shucks, sorry. Now, I know, y'all go to church. Yeah? Don't follow my example. Go to church, wake up early, and go to church.
Well, I guess now that we all have our smartphones, you really can't be like, oh, my alarm.
Yes.
You know, your smartphone naturally resets.
That's actually a great point. When time changes, it's a great time to assess what in your house is truly digital versus analog. Because, you know, back in the day, you had to go and change every clock on your own. The clock on the wall, you had to change the one on the stove, you had to change the one on your wrist. And now everything changes, but it's those 1 or 2 clocks that just stay the same. Like, you know what, I'm not even gonna change you. You're gonna stay.
Right, it's not worth it. I'll wait a few months.
Celebrate the analogs in your life, man. Ain't everything gotta be digital, right? And we've got a great second half coming up today. We're gonna be continuing to celebrate Women's History Month by replaying that interview with Dr. Krista Sherman, marine biologist. You don't wanna miss that.
And the Bahamas International Film Festival will be joining us to discuss their youth film workshop. But before all that, we'll take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
This is Weather at Sunrise.
The Euro device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more.
Thank you, Gabrielle. Good morning, Bahamas. And your second look at weather at sunrise. High pressure now will move eastward. We have a weak frontal boundary across the southeastern islands. That'll fizzle by today. And then a strong cold front moves in here sometime on Tuesday evening. In your marine forecast today, those winds southwest to west at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet northwest and central Bahamas, southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet over southeastern islands. But we have a caution posted because of some northeasterly swells up to about 9 feet. On Tuesday, after the front passes, winds become west to northwest at 15 to 20 knots, 4 to 6 feet over northwest Bahamas, southwest to west at 15 knots, 3 to 5 feet over the central and southeastern islands. On Wednesday, those winds north to northeast at 15 to 20 knots, 4 to 6 feet northwest and central Bahamas, northerly at 15 knots, 3 to 5 feet over the southeastern islands, but do expect those swells up to about 9 feet. Your tides, currently have a low tide that happens 6:44 this morning. Next high tide will be at 31 minutes past midday. Low gain this evening at 6:41. Sunset 7:17 this evening, rising was 7:20. UV index 8, your water temperature 73 degrees Fahrenheit, honeymoon phase last quarter. Your external look, you have that strong cold front moving through sometime on Tuesday, and that'll bring with some cooler temperatures, but also some showers and possible thunderstorms on Wednesday. The temperature ahead of that front will be in the mid to upper 80s at daytime, the upper 60s at nighttime. After that front passes, we dip into the upper 70s, low 80s at daytime, and the lower 60s at nighttime. That's what's wrapping your final look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Gabrielle.
Thanks, Godfrey. The Bahamas International Film Festival continues to impact the youth of the community through the BIFF Youth Film Workshop. Here to tell us more about this initiative are Leslie Vanderpool, founder and executive director of the Bahamas International Film Festival, and Juan McCartney, consumer relations chief at Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, or IRCA. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Absolutely.
Morning. So Leslie, tell us what the Bahamas International Film Festival is all about.
Well, the month of March is going to be the youth film workshop where we go into 4 schools and we teach students how to make film. So we teach them the nuts and bolts of the industry. And the month of May, we have a celebration of cinema where we bring Hollywood to the Bahamas. We showcase films, about 50 films we're showing from 20 countries, including Bahamian films. And we have writer's residency program, we have master classes in acting, we have the youth film workshop showcase that we're going to show from the films that we made in March. So it's an amazing event that's celebrating 18 years of cinema in paradise.
I was going to ask because the Bahamas International Film Festival has been around for quite some time.
Yes, it has.
So why did you decide to have a youth film workshop?
Well, we've been doing the youth film workshop since inception and taught about 1,000 people in the Bahamas, all over the islands. We have gone into institutes like the Bahamas Correctional Society or Facility, elderly community, elderly home, students in government schools, in private schools, And I think it's really important if we're showcasing films in the Bahamas, we have to educate and encourage. So there are films that we were just talking about this, there's so many legends in the Bahamas, there's so much content that needs to be showcased. In books, yes, but film is immediate. And I think that making movies is such an easy task now. Somebody can pick up the phone and make a film.
So what can the students or the persons who decide to participate in the program expect to experience?
This year we're going to the University of Bahamas. Okay. We're going to 2 schools in Cat Island, the Office Town and Old Bight School, and then King's College. And what they can expect is taking the idea onto page themselves, learning the nuts and bolts of what goes on behind the scenes, becoming that crew, and then selecting the cast. They're actually going to be shooting their own film, and they're going to be editing it. And so the reason why we've chosen Cat Island this year is because the film festival, May 3rd to the 7th in Nassau, and then we go to Cat Island in May 8th, because we are celebrating Sir Sidney Poitier. The topic of the youth film workshop is who am I? And that kind of, it's inspired by what Sir Sidney was all about, is where he came from. Where did I come from?
Wow, that is awesome. Juan, can you tell us a little bit about IRCA's involvement with the festival?
Sure. At IRCA, we believe that the film festival is important for community and for commerce. And we also think it's very important to get involved with the youth film workshop. What we want to do is we want to get more young people involved in communications, involved in ICT, and involved in engineering, which is a basic foundation of what it is that IRCA regulates, electricity, energy, communications, etc. And so we're very pleased to partner with them. One of the short films they were highlighting has Aisha Bowe, who was a NASA aerospace engineer, and I think she's going into outer space sometime soon. And so they're going to be highlighting her as well. And we think it's important to get young people involved at a very early age. And so we think that this is a really important initiative that they're doing. It's the 4th time that we're partnering with the film festival, and we're looking forward to it.
Leslie, you talked about, equipping young people with the tools that they need to participate and engage in film. Why is that so important in the context of being able to tell our stories?
I went abroad to learn how to be an actress, and there are so many people here that may not have that opportunity. So it's all about bringing it home and making sure that people have the tools and the resources to expand in another career option. And a lot of people really don't know the facets of the industry. The film is so multifaceted, from the makeup artist to the producer to the writer to the boom operator, the cameraman, camerawoman, the editor, the accountant. There's so many areas where film is a collaborative effort.
You talked a little bit about the theme this year being Who Am I? And that being inspired by Sir Sidney Poitier. Can you elaborate a little bit about the thought process going into that?
Yes, the daughters of Sir Sidney, Pam Poitier, Nika Poitier, Sidney Poitier, and Beverly Poitier, they're very, Sir Sidney has always been close patron of the film festival. So what the daughters and I are doing, we are showcasing Sidney, the documentary, at the closing night of the Bahamas National Film Festival, May 7th, and we're taking Sidney home to Cat Island. So, because of his passing, we feel that we haven't had a proper celebration of Sir Sidney in Cat Island. We've had services here in Nassau, but what Sidney really wanted was the Bahamas to have a film institute, a film program, where people are constantly telling stories and becoming visible. And that's one thing about film, you are visible.
If there's a young person watching, or somebody who has a young person that's watching who wants to take part in the workshop, how can they do that?
We've already selected the schools, but that doesn't mean that we can't come back to you, because after the film festival in May, we continue to outreach into the schools. So the festival just doesn't happen for 6 days. It happens throughout the year. Our number is 804-6662, or they can go on the website, and that's BahamasInternationalFilmFestival.com or BINTLFilmFest.com. Just Google it. We have a Instagram page, Bahamas BIFF. We're very interactive with our youth and our community. We showcase films that will touch people, issues like cancer, or entertain one. That we have amazing films. That we have amazing celebrities. We're honoring an A-list celebrity this year. I really want to come back and tell you that story, but I think it's all about the celebrities that we create here. And so Sydney, you can imagine the Sydney Poitiers that are just among us. And IRCA, and also the Bahamas International Film Festival received a grant from the Ministry of Culture. We really want to make sure that we are impacting people's lives. People look at the arts and they look at Hollywood as being this glitz and glamour. But if you go down deep, there's, just like last night when you saw the Oscars, the films that have won in those different categories, they show a slice of life, and we all have stories to tell.
I love that. Juan, do you want to make an appeal, I guess, to the public? Of course, IRCA is supporting this initiative. You want to encourage other corporate sponsors to do the same?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you really got to be supportive of the Bahamas International Film Festival. Leslie's done a great deal of work doing the heavy lifting, and we're happy to come on board. And if others would like to do the same, I think they should reach out to Leslie and make it happen, because it's a lot of work that goes on, and the resources are scarce, but we got to support our local film festival and make sure that we're all putting our weight behind it.
I love it. And Leslie, if somebody wants to attend the upcoming festival in May, are there tickets on sale? How can they do that?
All of the screenings, the general screenings, are $12.
Oh,
wow. But the opening night and the closing night, they start anywhere from $20 to $50. Our celebrity tribute goes from $50 to $300. And all of that information is going to be on our website. There's master classes that people can participate in, where we have Pedro Damian, who is in Father and the Bride. We have James Morosini, whose film is going to be shown at the festival. That's a $25 ticket, so it's very accessible.
Accessible, yeah. I was going to say, I was waiting for some more sticker shock, but that's fantastic. Yeah. It's a great initiative for the public. Congratulations to you, and thank you for all the work that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show. And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
What do you want from a cloud solution? You want flexibility and edge? You want to modernize applications with the ability to deliver new ones with lightning speed. You want an infrastructure that's automated, secure, cost-effective, and scalable. You want to give the end user the freedom they want with the control you need. You can't get all that from just any cloud. You need something better. You need Bahamas Cloud. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
The islands of the Bahamas. Fly away.
Grand Bahama Business Outlook is back in person and better than ever. Join us on Thursday, March 16th at the Grand Lucayan Resort for a full day of engaging presenters convening under the theme Forward, Upward, Onward, Together. Keynote address by Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper. Moderators are Felicia Woods-Hanna and Dr. Kenneth Romer. Our presenters are the Honorable Ginger Moxie, Charnette Thompson, Deverson Warner, Mark Weller, Jeffrey Beckles, Dr. Linda Davis, Sonia Brown, and Keith Roy. There will also be panel discussions, one featuring Barry Malcolm, Ian Roll, James Carey, and Thomas Dean, and the other featuring Dennis DeVoe, Glenette Fowler, and Henry Smythe. Don't miss this valuable networking opportunity. Register today at tclevents.com or call 322-1000.
As we've mentioned, March is Women's History Month, and we are highlighting Bahamian women who are crushing it in their fields, making an impact, setting history, and setting the course for our future. This morning we have Dr. Krista Sherman, and she is the first Bahamian woman with a PhD in the marine sciences, and she serves as a senior scientist for the Perry Institute for Marine Science. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise, Dr. Sherman.
Good morning, Mark, and happy World Wildlife Day.
Oh yeah, it's World Wildlife Day. See, there you go. This is why we have you on the show, so for you to remind us of these things. But yes, it's Happy World Wildlife Day, celebrating all the wildlife, especially your favorite. So before we get in, tell me what's your favorite fauna and wildlife that you see in the ocean?
I think so. Most people that have been in the field with me for a while know that I have a secret obsession with spotted eagle rays.
Oh, yeah.
So they are my favorite, yes.
Good. Everybody check out the spotted eagle ray. Do your part. Find out a little more about the spotted eagle ray on behalf of Women's History Month and World Wildlife Day. So let's get into it. How did your love for the ocean start and progress to becoming your career?
Well, my parents, thankfully, bless them, introduced me to the water as a baby, and I was hooked from then. And so I've always spent any opportunities that I've had in the water. My godfather taught me to snorkel when I was a kid, and I really got hooked then and obsessed. So it's just been a lifelong passion. And once I found out that I can marry that passion with science, which I'm also curious about, it was like a no-brainer. This is what I wanted to do.
Tell us a little bit about your career and how you've got to the point where you're at.
For me, because I knew what I wanted to do since primary school, it was really clear that I was going to follow that science track. So I did an undergrad in marine science, master's of research in ocean science, and then most recently a PhD in biological sciences from the University of Exeter. And for me, with each of those degrees, I wanted to address a need. And so my master's research was really focused on addressing problems that we were having at the time with the emerging lionfish issue, which is an invasive species. And then my PhD, which people are more familiar with that work, was to figure out how can we better manage NASA grouper so that we prevent the species from going extinct, but we still have a viable fishery here in the country.
Tell us about some of the organizations that you work with that help to foster your career and allow you to flourish in the field.
Yeah, so I was a big believer in interning and volunteering and did a whole lot of unpaid internships and volunteering growing up, even after having a master's degree, believe it or not. So those are really important to gain firsthand experiences. But some of the places I worked at after I finished my undergrad, I worked as an aquarist at Atlantis. So shout out to Atlantis, and learned a lot about husbandry and collecting and keeping things alive. But I really had the bug to do research. And so I left and did a master's. And after that, I ended up working at the Cape Eleuthera Institute and Island School, heading up their lionfish program, working on patch reefs. Patch reef ecology. So that was sort of the next step. And then ended up working for the Bahamas National Trust after that for 4 years. A lot of that work was in the Exuma Keys Land and Sea Park, and a lot of work on protected areas and expanding the protected area system. With a lot of side projects happening on the same time, still lionfish. That's when I started doing NASA grouper work. And then eventually ending up where I am today, which is the Perry Institute for Marine Science.
Tell us a little about your current work at the Perry Institute.
Right. So the Perry Institute for Marine Science is a nonprofit research organization. We've been in the Bahamas doing work for over 50 years now. Not me. Obviously. But when I came back from doing my PhD, our executive director, Dr. Craig Dahlgren, who I've worked with for a number of years, one of my mentors, asked me to head up a fisheries research and conservation program. So that's what I do there. And that work is really, we can't manage something if we don't know how it's doing. So looking at fisheries, not just fish species, but inverts like conch, how they're doing, how the condition of their habitats are, what things are threatening them, how do we manage those things better, more sustainably, how do we affect behavior change for people through our communications. and then continuing to monitor the condition of those species and those habitats as other threats emerge over time, like stony coral tissue loss disease, which is something that we're dealing with right now.
Do you ever think that there was a glass ceiling for women in science? And did you ever meet any resistance in your career or education in this field?
I didn't feel oppressed in any way, and I felt supported by the organizations that I worked with and the people that I've had in my life, and my family's been a tremendous support as well.
Do you have a work or life philosophy that guides you?
Yeah, I think I've learned a lot from my mom, and probably a lot of Bahamians can say the same thing. She has been extraordinarily hardworking, and so I've seen that, and I value work ethic. And I believe if you say you're going to do something, you should do it, and you should try and do it to the best of your ability. It doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but at least put the effort in. So that's kind of my philosophy and how I approach things. It's really purpose-driven work. It's not work just to do work. And even the research projects that I take on are purpose-driven, and they're to help with a need, addressing a need.
I love that. I love that. What do you say to women and girls out there who are thinking of pursuing a career in the marine sciences?
Definitely, if you're interested, I feel like if you're interested, definitely pursue it. Like I mentioned, it's not going to be easy. When I did my undergrad, one of the things that happened during our orientation first week, they sat us all in a room and they said, look to the person to the left, look to the person at the right. They may not be there at the end. Because it is challenging, it is difficult. You are going to go through some things that are going to test your boundaries and your perseverance. But if you're really passionate about it, you'll make it happen. You'll stick through it. You'll persevere. And it would be lovely to have more Bahamians, not just women, in the sciences, because actually the males are underrepresented in our country in this field. So.
See, look at that.
I encourage you to get involved too.
See, that's a real woman right there. You see, she looking out for us, and y'all been looking out for us from time. That's why I say we give credit to women all across this planet for just maintaining and sustaining life. This is why we need y'all. So important. As we wrap up, if there was one thing that you wanted our viewers or the Bahamian public to know about the ocean and marine habitats, what would that be?
We need the ocean, we need the habitats to protect our coastlines, to provide us with food, to support all the industries and livelihoods that are, benefiting our country. So I wish people would feel that connection and appreciate the value for everything that it provides us a little bit more. But yeah.
I love it. Show a little love and appreciation for the ocean because it provides so much for us, and we wanted to keep it that way. And we applaud and congratulate, celebrate people like yourselves and the organization that you work with who are working so hard to conserve our ocean resources and make sure we still have this Bahamian way of life for many years to come. So thank you again, Dr. Krista Sherman, for joining us this morning. We salute you as a woman in science and Women's History Month, and we look forward to seeing you out there in the ocean. Let's go snorkeling and go look at some grouper.
Yes, hopefully this afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Thank you again for joining us dead early, and have a great weekend.
Okay, you too. Take care.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise, and we'll be right back.
Grand Bahama Business Outlook 2023 under the theme Forward, Upward, Onward, Together. Our keynote speaker is the Honorable Chester Cooper, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation. Come join us at the Grand Lucayan Resort on Thursday, March 16th or attend via Zoom. Register today at tclevents.com.
It's been a fantastic Monday, or we should say marvelous Monday on Bahamas at Sunrise. We've had a great show, a lot of incredible guests, a lot of exciting things coming up, and great things to look forward to.
Yeah, as the week rolls on, I've been actually reading a book. It's called The Multiplier Effect, and so it's about leadership. And for those of us, because I know all of our viewers are leaders in their own right, whether you lead your house, in your community, in your church, in your organization. What type of leader are you? You can either be a leader that multiply the genius around you, or you diminish the genius around you.
Wow.
And really effective leaders are the ones who find a way to increase the intelligence around them and utilize it for the greater good. There are those of us who may not realize we're diminishing the greatness of the people around us, and that's not the way to go. So as you go throughout this week, as being a leader in your house, in your workplace, in your church, be a multiplier. Give people the position to succeed, give them the opportunity to step outside their comfort zone, and it'll make you the best leader you can be.
Absolutely. I think that's great. If you want more inspiration like this, be sure to sign up for the Grand Bahama Business Outlook happening this week, Thursday.
Exactly, where you'll see all of the business leaders pertaining to Grand Bahama, what's happening there, and how you can get tapped in so you don't miss out. I mean, taking Grand Bahama to the next level. We love Grand Bahama. Right?
Absolutely.
So y'all enjoy the week, right?
We'll see you on Friday.
Remember, time change. Yesterday.